Hi everyone, my name is Arisa Miyake and this video is for my course project. Is social media the last thing you check before bed and the first thing after you wake up in the morning? Do you check your phone immediately when you hear a notification sound? Are you checking over and over again how many likes your posts on Facebook or Instagram are getting? Let us talk about the social dilemma. It's a documentary film available on Netflix. The Social Dilemma is a very terrifying and eye-opening documentary. Ask us questions about the ways our phones affecting our lives, especially the Gen Z. While there have been many impressive documentaries about social media, but this one has an advantage of its own, and it needs to be watched by our loved ones to protect them from being controlled by the social media. This documentary featured the top executives from Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, providing us understanding of how the technology and social media works. Firstly, I'd like to talk about the impact of social media in our society, especially in terms of politics and social trends. In terms of politics, in the upcoming 2022 presidential elections in the Philippines, we expect that the social media will play much more important role than the previous elections due to the pandemic. As we all know, it is very difficult to hold the traditional campaign events. So the social media is now the most powerful tool that a potential candidates would surely utilize in the new normal political campaigns. However, it has now become very common to spread fake news and to manipulate voters with fake accounts during election periods. The candidates are willing to do anything to capture the public's attention through social media. In terms of social trends, the marketers and businesses flock to the social platforms in hope of connecting with their target consumers, especially during this pandemic. However, the competition in social media is also very high. Because of that, marketers are also using the social media trends to make them stand out in the crowd. One of the social media trends moving up is the TikTok. At first, it was used by the young generations to show off their dance moves, their talents, but now it has become one of the main platforms that brands use to reach these millennials and Gen Z. Another example of social trend affecting society are the influencers like beauty bloggers and content creators like video game bloggers that are very popular among the young generations. The impact of influencers on the young generations may have both desirable and undesirable consequences. Influencers may inspire them to achieve their goals in life, but they may also show bad examples, like inappropriate behaviors. The content of the influencers may also affect the psychological well being, materialism, and body satisfaction of the young generations. After watching this documentary, I have learned and realized a lot of things about social media. I'll share with you 5 things that I've learned from this film. First, I have learned that the social media is designed to be addictive. While we think that Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms are just for entertainment, the business model of these companies is based on keeping us engaged on our screens. Second, your self-worth and identity are not your social media presence. Every time we turn on our phones, we're attacked with posts that give us false sense of reality. We see girls with perfect bodies, which make us feel self-conscious. It creates unrealistic standards of beauty and makes us believe that everyone's life is perfect except for ours. Third, the content that we assume available for free on the internet is actually being paid for by the advertisers. They pay for our attention and make money from that. Fourth, fake news spreads 6 times faster than the truth. Before sharing any information on any platform like Facebook, we should always do a fact checking to break the cycle of spreading these fake news. Lastly, social media platforms are not a tool. We think that social media platforms as a tool for keeping in touch with our friends and family. But the truth is, it is something that sits there patiently waiting to be of use. It seduces us and manipulates us through emails and notifications. One of my favorite quotes from the film is, "If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product," by Daniel Hoverman. I often find myself wondering how Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok make money, and now I know. We always have to remember that in these social media platforms, people are the product and our attention is being sold to these advertisers. Before I end this video, I want to talk about one key issue in the documentary that I have observed, and I think worth for analysis and further discussion. I think one key issue that needs further analysis and discussion is how can social media be fixed? The documentary pointed at the very end that the only way to fix it is with better regulation. By demanding responsibility from the social media corporations that threaten our communities, I think we can get a better hold of the content being fed to us. Every time we open our Facebook or Instagram account and swipe down to refresh our page, it is like we are using a slot machine at the casino. We have become addicts, completely giving away our lives to these tools and forgetting about the bigger problems. If we want to live a happy, peaceful, and balanced life, we must keep track of how much time we are spending on these social media and how they are affecting our life.